Hi, my name is Richard Swan. I've been invited to talk to you by Ms. Pope today as part of National Science Week. If you don't know me, I'm the head of HotRock, which is a charity that works with high schools to help them create fantastic education programs around environmental sustainability. So HotRock's been working with Australind to create the organic food garden, the Earth Garden. It's worked with Australind to implement recycling and native tree germination and tree planting, and looks forward to continuing working with Australind on various projects like beekeeping and like the wetland rehabilitation. And yeah, I'm really passionate about my job and about what I do, and that is raising awareness of the need to raising awareness and the ability to take action and learn for our environment. And being Science Week, I suppose I just wanted to reiterate the importance of science in coming to understand the issues that face us today. And one of those very important issues is the loss of biodiversity on our planet. So you might be asking, well, what is biodiversity? Well, biodiversity in scientific terms is the measure of all living things in a place. And we actually live in one of the hotspots of biodiversity around the planet. In fact, Southwestern Australia is one of the only first world countries where there is a hotspot of biodiversity. And that creates for me and hopefully for many of you, creates a feeling of responsibility that we have the ability to do something about conserving the species that exist in the Southwest, and it's something that we need to do to show poorer countries, well, this is a way that we can tackle it. This is an effective way that we can bring scientific research to these issues, and effective ways that communities and governments can get together and create solutions for the loss of biodiversity. So, the United Nations has declared 2010 the International Year of Biodiversity. And they've done that because right now the extinction rate around the planet is 1,000 times higher than it should be. And that's pretty alarming, because the last time extinction rates were that high was when the dinosaurs went extinct. And so many people are saying that human activity is causing a mass extinction, that we're living right now in the middle of a mass extinction, and we don't even know it. 3 species are going extinct every hour, and that's a lot. And so many of these species we don't even know yet. And if you consider that 10% of all the spider species in the world have been discovered, only 12% of all the insect species. And so there's a lot of stuff that's disappearing off the face of this earth that we don't even know about. And that's really important, and it's something that I hope your science teachers will be able to talk to you about in class. And having said that Southwest Australia is a hotspot of biodiversity, and the responsibility that we have as Southwest Australians to ensuring the conservation, it's disappointing to know that in the last 200 years, of all the mammal species that have gone extinct on the planet, half of them have been from Australia. So we don't have a very good record of looking after our wildlife. And I think part of the reason is because most of the Australian marsupial wildlife, and so the bigger things, are coming out at night. And we sleep at night, so we don't see them, and what we don't see, we don't really consider to be important. And maybe that's something that we need to reconsider. So biodiversity is extremely important. Now, just briefly, because biodiverse ecosystems are stable, they can resist change, and we're living in a changing world, a world where climate change is bringing fluctuations in weather patterns. So ecosystems that can resist change are definitely beneficial, and we rely on ecosystems in many, many ways. Conserving biodiversity is important for securing our food supply. If we rely on a few types of food, we're very vulnerable to disease. And if we need to maintain a high level of biodiversity to ensure our food supplies into the future. At the moment, most of the world lives on about 40 plant and animal species, and yet 40,000 plant and animal species are eaten commonly day to day by people. So that's something we need to consider. How can we diversify what we eat to ensure that people growing different products can stay viable? Yeah. Another reason we need to conserve biodiversity is because so many medicinal drugs are now coming from nature. In fact, half the medicinal drugs that were registered last year, half the new medicinal drugs that were registered last year came from nature. So if we're losing species, at 3 species an hour, we're potentially losing the cures of the future. And apart from that, it's just important for us, it's not right for one species to eliminate another species on this planet, regardless of whether it's a polar bear or a flea. It's just not right. So what can we do about it? Well, you've got to become informed about what biodiversity is, why it's important to you, and how you can do something. You can start by promoting any planting of native trees. You can start by bringing frog ponds into your garden. You can start by supporting organic industry, because organic industry isn't using insecticides and pesticides, and those are certainly decreasing biodiversity. It's important to know where things come from. It's really important to get informed. So, for instance, if you're buying some timber from Bunnings, where has it come from? Has it come from a rainforest that's being harvested unsustainably, or has it come from timber plantation which is being managed with best practice? So at the end of the day, it comes down to us. We need to make choices, and those choices come back to us. If we make the right choices, we live in a world that we want to live in. We live in a world that we want to see. Yeah, so thank you for your attention. I just would like to end with the fact that the world needs scientists. We need scientists to delve into the understanding that is going to lead us to be able to live in a more sustainable, more harmonious way, and the world needs people who are willing to act and live in a way that is going to support all life forms on Earth. Yeah, so I look forward to seeing you at Australind in the near future, and enjoy National Science Week. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.